James and John step forward. James and John, the sons of Zebedee, came forward to Jesus, and they said to him, "Teacher, we want you to do something for us. Whatever we ask." These are two guys who are trying to change the subject. These are two guys who are trying to rescue their friend. These are two guys who are coming to Jesus saying, "But we got an idea for you. We're going to pull you out of this funk. We're going to pull you out of this anxiety. We are going to fill you with confidence, and we are going to encourage you because we know who you are. We want you to do for us whatever we ask you, just like friends. You've been there. You know you had a friend who was in a funk and you said, 'Come on, let's go shopping. Let's go do some retail therapy.' You've done it. You know you've done it. Let's take off for the weekend. Let's get away from it all. Let's go to the movies." James and John, I think, are coming up to Jesus and they are trying to say, "We want you to do whatever it is we ask you to do for us. What do you want me to do for you?" And they said to him, "Grant us to sit one at your right hand and one at your left hand when you come into your glory." This is trying to fill him with confidence. This is trying to give him another picture. This is trying to tell him, "Jesus, we are absolutely confident that everything's going to be all right. Calm down. Calm down. It's going to be okay." They're trying to be good guys, I think. Jesus said to them, "Fellas, you don't know what you're asking. Are you able to drink the cup that I drink? Are you able to be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with?" They replied, We are able." And then Jesus said to them, "The cup that I drink, you will drink, and the baptism with which I am baptized, you will be baptized. But to sit at my right hand and at my left hand is not mine to grant, but it is for those for whom it has been prepared." James and John are scratching their heads. And the rest of the disciples, it's typical, we all do this. The rest of the disciples go, "What was that about? What? Wait a minute here." They took it the wrong way completely. Took it the wrong way. When the 10 heard this, they began to be angry with James and John. They were jealous, they were upset. So Jesus called them all and said to them, "Come on, you guys. Come on. This isn't about being jealous of one another. This isn't about who's the most important or who's the best or who's the first or who's the second. This isn't about that. Let me help you understand. You know that among the Gentiles, those whom they recognize as their rulers lord it over them, and their great ones are tyrants over them. But it is not so among you. It's not so among us. But whoever wishes to become great among you must be your servant. And whoever wishes to be first among you must be slaveable." Now, I'm going to stop there for a second. How many of you have watched interviews with big-time sports figures? Somebody just ran 90 yards for a touchdown or threw that wonderful basket from, all the way on the other side of the court. And the news people go in and, "So Harry, how'd you do that?" And their answer is always, "Well, you gotta prepare yourself. You gotta train hard. You gotta eat right, and you gotta rest." The you in that discussion is a you that refers to themselves. Right? You've heard people, they talk in that second person. This is what you gotta do. Talking about them. in that way. Fellas, this is what you gotta do. You gotta be a servant. I am a servant. You gotta be a slave. I am your slave. The Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve, to give his life for the redemption of many. For the redemption of many. Jesus' attempt to work with his disciples, Jesus' attempt to try to help his disciples understand what was coming next, was to say to them, it isn't going to be what you are hoping or what you plan. It isn't going to be anything that's going to go away. It isn't anything. Your fears are not going to be relieved or alleviated. But what will happen is something incredible. Something incredible. And you need to come with me. What I ask all of you, I ask you to take the time in these next 2 weeks to walk this walk to Jerusalem as the blind disciples, as the disciples who do not see beyond Easter, as the disciples who know nothing but the netherland, the netherworld, the grayness that awaits. I ask you, take that journey in the next 2 weeks. And I promise you, the redemption will be so much more sweet.